All right, welcome back to tonight's video. Today we're going to talk about the elusive Tesla Model X. Hope you guys are enjoying I changed the background just a little bit. I made it a little darker in here so you could see the LEDs just a little bit more, but I'm going to add like a bunch of background in here soon. So I want to know your guys' thoughts on what I should add. Should I have like a shelf with some like Tesla stuff I got? I have some like pillows. Some other cool stuff. So I'm going to add a bunch of stuff here in the background. Hopefully you guys will enjoy it. I have some fun license plates that I've had in the past as well. But that's beyond the point. But let me know what I should put in the back. I want to hear your guys' ideas. But today we're going to talk about the Tesla Model X. And I found a brand new Tesla Model X that has a pretty sizable discount. The biggest one I've seen so far. So we're going to talk about this Model X that I found. We're going to talk about some used Tesla Model X's and kind of where the market's at on it, if it's starting to come down a little bit. And we're also in the last week of the month or last month of the quarter. So there's going to be a bunch of deals, a bunch of inventories coming up, and there was actually a bunch that came on live today. But this is the week. If you've been waiting patiently and you need a car and you can't wait till next year or something like that, then you might want to jump on one of these vehicles that are available, and especially this Model X that I found at this pretty sizable discount. But welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. My name is Dennis. I've had 3 Teslas so far. I love talking about buying and selling and also financing Teslas and kind of like how to hack the market and all of them. So thank you for joining tonight's video. And yeah, today's video is sponsored by my Calendly link. If you have any questions on, or if you're in a tough spot and you don't know what to do with buying or selling a Tesla or even financing a Tesla, you can actually schedule a call with me down below in the description. It's a 15-minute call, and before and after that, you'll get a link to my buying guide that has links to all my resources and tips and tricks that I use on how to buy and sell a Tesla at a good price. And really, for the matter, that's any vehicle out there. So I'm actually going to be working together with an auto broker company pretty soon to hopefully create more content. So we'll see if that actually lifts off. And yeah, that's kind of the teaser I'll give for now. But hopefully that works out, and you might see me on a different channel as well. But we're gonna get into it tonight. Please hit that like and subscribe if you're enjoying it so far. And let's get into it. All right, so the Tesla Model X. I keep doing this. I keep forgetting to like minimize all my stuff. It's so actually really bad. But hold on, let me minimize this, and that should work. All right, so the Tesla Model X. So this is the Model X that I actually found that has a $1,820 discount. So almost $2,000 off a Tesla Model X, which is, I mean, I guess if you think about it, $2,000, it sounds like a big discount, but it's actually not when it's $150,000 car, give or take. So it's like a 1% discount at the end of the day. But what's really cool about this, and this is good for everybody that's been waiting for a Model X deal, is this is like the first big discount, or the biggest discount I've seen on the brand new refreshed Tesla Model X. Of course, it's the plaid, so it's pretty expensive, but this is the biggest discount we've seen so far. So this is good news for everybody that's interested in a Model X, or especially a brand new one. But this is a $1,800 discount. Of course, this Model X does have over 300 miles, so definitely on the high side, but it's a brand new 2022 Tesla Model X demo. It's never been registered, and it's in Merritt Island, Florida. So this was probably a test drive vehicle, but I wasn't even sure that they were doing Model X test drive vehicles, because if they are, I kind of want to go test drive a brand new Model X, especially the new refreshed plaid, but I didn't know they were doing this. But a $1,800 discount for a plaid, which is not bad. It's not bad at all. And just to check, I wanted to make sure it was in inventory before I talked about it. This is a pretty built Model X Plaid. It's got the big 20-inch rims. It's got the black exterior, which costs money, as white interior, which also costs money, and it has the full self-driving, or $15,000 full self-driving, which is that's why it brings this Tesla Model X all the way up to the price it is. Or actually on here, it's actually $161,000 because it has the full self-driving. But here, if you minus the full self-driving, it's $146,000, and that's just an expensive Tesla. But hey, it's got a discount, but you also have to think an $1,820 discount, that buys, you have to equate it because this car does have 3,300 miles on it. And these tires, these big 20-inch rims, how many miles can you actually get from it? And does that discount equal the tires that or the miles on those rims? And so a full set of brand new tires on a car like this is probably going to run you about $2,000. And the tires last about 15, 20, maybe even 25,000 miles. So you're getting a pretty good value in terms of miles to tire life ratio, but 3,300 miles is definitely a lot. And unless this is like the exact Tesla Model X that you really, really want, I mean, it's built beautifully. I mean, black with white interior, the 22-inch rims, and the 6E interior, that's like the perfect build in my opinion, or exactly that's how I would build it. And actually that's how I ordered mine when I had it on order before I got banned from buying Teslas. But this is a beautiful build. But at the same time, if you're patient, the Tesla Model X market is going to definitely drop very, very soon. So if you can be patient and wait for a Model X, then I would just be patient, because it's funny. Like, I'm in a bunch of Facebook groups for Tesla stuff, and I see it every day. People posting stuff like, "Oh, what happened with the market? Why is my Model X not worth as much as it was before?" So this is a post. This is the Model X Plaid and Long Range Facebook group, of course, on Facebook. And this was a post earlier today from Adam. Maybe I should blur his name up, but it is Facebook, right? So if you're posting, it's public. But quote, "I just got an offer from CarMax for $117K for my 2022 Model X Plaid with 2,500 miles. What is going on? Any advice from a better idea?" So he is obviously they are trying to obviously exit out of the market. And just like that, he is getting low values for his Plaid, which he probably paid a good amount of money to. And of course, in the comments, everybody's just saying like the market has completely dropped on Tesla Model X's. And let's just go to the Manheim auction site, this is tracking dealer to dealer sales of wholesale of cars where dealers are selling to each other. And you can see it's pretty much in the teens for the past week. There actually hasn't been any Model X's that have sold in the past week, but the week before it was in 116, 112. So let's now go to the Plaid, because this is the most probably depreciated vehicle. And here you go. This is why that person on Facebook got an offer for 117, because there's just too many people that are flipping or trying to get out of their Model X Plaids and just trying to make money on it. You can see 86 miles, 61 miles, just really low miles that doesn't make any sense, of people just trying to exit out of their really, really high priced cars. And the Model X is just a really expensive car. And so you just got to be super careful, because the depreciation curve on this really hits you very, very fast. So that is basically the Model X that we found at the discounted price of $1,820. So this is a deal-ish if this is exactly what you want, but if you could wait and be patient, used is definitely where we want to be at. So I was definitely curious, because I wanted to see what is the cheapest refresh, brand new 2022 long range out there in the market. And let's just take a look, because I want, if it gets to like the teens, 110, 100 and under 110, maybe even like 90s, that would be a pretty good price. Because at one point, the Tesla Model S long range started at a base price of $90,000, and that was a steal if you could have got it back then at a base price of $90,000. Like if you were able to get an order in, because you're pretty much in the money completely if you have an order in at that price. And so this is a price tracking history where someone has basically put together a really good resource of all the price increases for all the Tesla models. And you can see right here, the base price for a 2021 refresh, what didn't actually deliver in 2022, was $90,000 starting. So that's why I feel like if you can be patient, there are people that are taking delivery of their Model X's that have a base price of $90,000, and if they don't add any options whatsoever, so if they go with the white exterior, which is free, a black interior, which is also free, the 19-inch rims, no full self-driving, none of that, it includes with autopilot standard, and if they got the 5-seater, which is also free, then they're out the door with tax and everything is 95 to 100K. So a lot of those people are probably just going to want to drive it for free and then just sell it. So we could see a lot of Model X's come into the market in the low hundreds, maybe even the high 90s. But the other thing that is a difference with the Model X is that because it's a big and heavy car that's over 6,000 pounds, unlike any other Tesla, not even the Model S, there's a lot of business owners that want to buy high-priced SUVs to get a tax write-off instead. So we could see some stabilization in the market, and the Model X will just keep staying in like the 100 to 110 range. But it just really, really depends with the market and kind of the interest rates and everything through the end of this year. And if there's going to be a push for that, there usually always is a push for SUVs made both on the new, used, and new, used, and even certified side. But 100 to 110 is what I'm calling it's going to be at by the end of this year. And if it's not by the end of this year, definitely by January. But just taking a look at the used Tesla Model X market, we can see that a lot of these are in the teens, 110, 115 range, but these are mostly long ranges. But this one is actually really interesting. So here's a 2022 Tesla Model X Plaid. It's marked Plaid, but I'm not sure if that actually is Plaid because it's sold by Autobahn Motors, which is in the Bay Area, and it has 1,500 miles, which is like absolutely nothing. But this just seems like a really insane deal if that's actually a Plaid, because a lot of these other ones are base long ranges, and to get a Plaid for basically the price of under a brand new long range, that just seems off. So let's take a look at this. Okay, 2022 Tesla Model X Plaid for $117,000 or $18,000. I guess there's no way to actually see if this is actually the Plaid or not. So it might actually be mismarked. But let's take a look at some of these inventory photos, because if this is a Plaid, this would be insane. Okay, so let's see if they took a picture. It doesn't look like we can tell. If anybody in the chat can see if this is a Plaid or not. I mean, I guess the only other way to tell if there's a badge on the back, but most people can actually just add the badge. And the funny thing here is, look at this. It still has temporary plates on from September of 2022. So that means they took delivery in what? July, and they just took it straight to the dealer within the past couple months and sold it. So this might just be a long range and it's just mistakenly marked a Plaid. So then if that's the case, then it's not really a good deal at all. But looking at this, the cheapest 2022 Model X is $115,000. And is this across the whole entire country? It is across the whole entire country. So the question is, what if we had a 2022 Tesla Model X Plaid? If we put ourselves in the other side shoe of someone that's trying to sell, that owns one right now, is trying to sell it, what would we get for our Tesla Model X Plaid? So let's just put this in, because this is the tool that I use if I'm interested in buying a used car or a used Tesla. I basically go to Car Buyer USA or any other wholesaler site, and I put in what the person might actually get for the vehicle, and that's actually what they get. Wow. So 100K basically is the trade value they get. So if I can buy a Model X for 1,000 to 2 or even 3,000 higher than that, then that is a good deal, in my opinion, for at the moment. But really, I would love to get into a Model X at like the low 90s, maybe even high 80s, but I don't think we're going to get there yet. The Model S is going to get there for sure. The refresh Model S is going to get to the mid 80s by the end of this year, if not January, but the Model X, maybe not, unless Tesla starts to push a lot of these demo or inventory vehicles, switching it off demo mode. You can see that there's 52 brand new Model X Plaids available for sale. But let's actually look. Okay, but there's only one long range available, and it's in Hawaii. So that's super far. You're not going to be able to ship that to any of the states here. But there's a ton of Model X inventory, and hopefully we'll start to see more long range come into play here. But if we start to see that, then we know Tesla is having issues with delivering these cars. But going to waitingfortesla.com, as again, there's a section with the website that tracks the data on all this and how many inventory drops get basically dropped every single day. And we're starting to see a little bit of decrease today, which, I mean, it is Sunday, but if we start to see this trend up more throughout the next 5 days of the month, which is the business or next 5 business days, it's going to get pretty interesting as Tesla just starts to push sales through the end of this month. But I mean, after this, we're going to get into some questions. We're getting some questions, of course, a couple of news articles about Tesla or such general EV things that I found interesting today. But let's go ahead and get into some questions. Hopefully, it is kind of a little dark in here. Maybe I should turn the light just a little bit. I thought it'd be nice and moody-ish with the LED in the background, but I guess it is a little bit dark in here. But let's go. Yalfoma, put a Yalfoma LED sign. Yeah, sponsored. Here we go. I'll put a shelf right here. Sponsored. Yeah, because we are sponsored. I'll ship it to you. Yeah, ship it to you. I'll put it right here on the left or the right side, and I'll frame it and everything. Perfect. Done. Tom Costello, welcome back. Welcome back to the channel. Do you have any? How is your day so far? How is your night? But yeah, let's get into some interesting things that I found today regarding the market on EVs. So if you guys don't follow, Electrify America is another big I guess electric charging network out there. And the backstory with this is that Electrify America was created by Volkswagen because it was kind of their punishment for the Dieselgate scandal. That's basically the summary and TLDR about that. But they recently, and I don't know if you have friends that drive Electrify America cars, but that's like anything besides a Tesla because all the other companies have partnerships with them. For instance, like the Hyundai Ioniq, when you buy a Hyundai Ioniq, which is a pretty good deal, as long as you don't pay up a markup on it over MSRP, you get 3 years of free supercharging with Electrify America when you buy a Hyundai Ioniq. And the Hyundai Ioniq starts at like 45 to 50K. So it's a pretty good deal if you're, especially if you're in a state like California that has high gas rates. But the problem with having free charging is it's only as good as the network. So here in California, Electrify America stations, I hear from owners a lot where it's just not that good. It's just glitchy all the time, where you show up and it's just full of other cars because every other car manufacturer is signed and partnered with Electrify America. So that's like Porsche, that's Hyundai, that's Kia, even like Polestar, all these other companies are partnered up with them. But recently they did a marketing campaign for some reason to kind of rebrand their KW charging speeds. So if you don't know, Tesla's supercharging charges at like a KW rate of like 75 KWs to 150, 250, and I don't think we can get up to 350 yet, but Electrify America can go up to 350. And supposedly they did some sort of study group with Electrify America customers or whatever, and I guess people were confused about the 75, 150, even 350. So they relabeled it all in a marketing campaign or a relabeling campaign, hyper fast and ultra fast. And they just spent a bunch of money on this to rebrand this with all their chargers, which is just, this article just kind of goes into how it's just a lot more confusing. And from our viewpoint, it's like they're spending money on this kind of useless rebranding instead of trying to fix their chargers or even increase chargers out there in the area, because it is getting super congested, especially in California, and it is just really, really tough. But let's go back to some questions on this. So good to see you live, Dennis. Thank you. Welcome back to the channel, Golden Falcon. Thomas, good. I recently got my VIN and they're asking me to take delivery. Unfortunately, I won't be able to take delivery until October 7th. Do you know how many times you can put it on hold? So I actually do not know. I'm hearing a lot of mixed things about putting deliveries on hold. Supposedly you can install them for like a week or two before they just release the car. They'll release the car once to someone else, and then they'll put you back into the queue, but you gotta be super, super careful with that. They definitely won't let you, I don't think they're gonna let you push it all the way till next year. But I mean, if you can't take it October 7th, that should be okay. But they'll really want you to take delivery this month, which is the end of the quarter, end of the month of this. So just definitely be careful of that. But you should be okay pushing it like a week or two. It shouldn't be a problem at all. But the other thing that I thought was really interesting that I found today was So there's Cruise Automotive, which runs like an autonomous vehicle company. It's by GM in San Francisco. They run kind of all over the city, and these little Bolt cars that drive around all by themselves and driverless. The last thing I saw about this was that a Cruise car was pulled over by the police, and the police cop like didn't really know it was an autonomous car, walked all the way up to the driver's side, even tried to unlock it, and didn't realize that there was someone actually in there. So it was actually super funny. But this one isn't as funny. I mean, it's actually kind of alarming, but this Cruise car, I guess, just completely stopped in the middle of the road and shut down by itself. And the technician didn't come to get there until like 20 minutes later. So this is pretty bad. I mean, luckily this happened at night, maybe with less traffic, but if this happened during the day, during rush hour or something like that, it's a pretty hazardous thing and can really block and congest a bunch of people during the day. But it looks like through the comments, this did happen at like 11:30 p.m. at night. So, which isn't as bad. If this were to happen during the day, that just would have been a terrible bad press as well. Terrible bad press for Cruise Automotive. But super interesting stuff. That's kind of like the two things I saw that were pretty interesting in the EV world. Of course, they're non-Tesla, but I definitely think we're going to see a lot more vehicles pop up into the inventory as we get through the end of this month. So definitely stay out. I'm going to do a stream like this every single day regarding something about a Tesla model. And I think this week I'm going to get into other models as well. So we'll probably do a Hyundai Ioniq one, see how the market's doing with those. I'm excited to do a Rivian one to see how the R1T, if it's holding value or is it starting to dip a little bit. And I think it is, but I want to go through these data sets and data points to see if the market on those is coming down, because for a while, at some point, every single Rivian R1T truck was going for like $110, $120, even $130,000 for a truck. But I think the days of that flip are starting to come down. I mean, of course, it's still profitable for most, but the days of a $110,000 truck is definitely going away. Hopefully, we'll see. But then I do want to do like the Ford products, so like the Mach-E and the Ford Lightning as well, to see if the market is holding in that, because recently Ford raised the price about 5% on a Mach-E, like $2,000 to $3,000 to even $8,000 on one of the models. So that's a huge bump. I mean, of course, not as big as Tesla, but still a huge bump for an OEM or a legacy automotive factory. And I'm actually curious to see if the market is holding on those or not. Like if you bought one in the past, are you still holding and making money, or is it starting to come down like every other car as well? But thanks for watching this quick video on the Model X that I found with a $1,800 to $100 discount. There's a ton. The TLDR of tonight is that there's a ton of Model X's for sale that are brand new on the Plaid side. And there's a good amount on used one as well, as from everybody that's trying to basically exit and flip out. So the market is going to come down, and I predict that the Model X, the used Model X's, the 2022 used Model X's will be in the $110 to about $100,000 very, very soon by December, if not drop under 100 in January. But here's another question from can you change your Model Y configuration up to before you get the VIN? Yeah, so you can just message Tesla. I don't know if there's like a max cap or a max limit on it, but you can change your order, and that could delay it. But yeah, once you probably get the VIN, you probably can't lock it at all. They'll just have to release the VIN to someone else, and then you change your order. So it really depends on who you get as a Tesla advisor when you call or email to see if they actually are assistive or not. So definitely be wary of that. Be careful. But I mean, it really just depends on your strategy. If you're trying to stall and push it to next year, then it doesn't really matter unless you have like a really low locked in price point or something like that. But thanks for everyone for joining tonight's stream on the Model X. I hope all of you are doing well. I hope we all have a great week this week. The market, of course, in terms of like stocks and stuff, is definitely under some iffiness. But out there. But hopefully, if you're taking delivery this week, good luck to you guys. I want to hear what your delivery processes are and how it's going. If anybody's taking delivery of a 2022 Model Y, I want to know if the suspension is good or not, or what are your thoughts on it, because that's the vehicle I would love to get back into it if the air suspension is brought to the Model Y or even the Model 3. I mean, might be a good deal. But thanks for watching tonight's video. Please hit that like and subscribe if you're enjoying it. And if you want to support the channel, there's a buy a coffee link down below in the description. It starts as little as $5, and tomorrow I have a 2-hour drive, so it'd be really be appreciative if I could get a coffee tomorrow, like an iced coffee. But you don't even have to do that at all. Just watching here every single day, commenting and liking goes a long way. You don't even know. So, but thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. See ya.